I
Because
guess
if
I
you know
left
the
off an
history of the
important
whole
part
concept
of
of
this
whiteness, if
series
you
of
know the history
videos here,
of the whole
so
concept
just
of
let
the white
this
race,
ride.
where it came from and for what reason, you know that it was a trick, and it's worked brilliantly. See, prior to the mid to late 1600s in the colonies of what would become the United States, there was no such thing as the white race. Those of us of European descent did not refer to ourselves by that term really ever before then. In fact, in the old countries of Europe, we had spent most of our time killing each other. We didn't love each other. We weren't one big happy family. The side of my family that comes from Scotland, hell, they didn't even worry about fighting people outside of Scotland. Highlanders and Lowlanders just fought the hell out of each other. So there was no white race, but in the colonies of what would become the United States, what did we see in the 1660s, 1670s? We began to see that Africans of indentured servant status, many of them not enslaved yet, they were not necessarily permanently enslaved. Some were, others were indentured like many poor Europeans for periods of 7 to 11 years. They could work off their indenture and then they would be free labor technically. Realized, as did the white indentured servants, the Europeans who hadn't even been called white yet, that they had a lot of things in common, like the fact that they were all getting their clock cleaned by the elites. And so they would get together more than our history books taught us, to foment rebellion against the elite, to try to get a better deal for themselves on the basis of economic necessity and economic justice. And what did the elite do? When you see that you're outnumbered by black and white folks who are penniless, landless, peasants, you have to do one of two things. You either have to kill them all, but you can't do that because who's going to work? Rich folks weren't going to. They had to get poor people to work. The whole point was to be a person of leisure back in those days. That was the goal, was not to work. So you couldn't kill them all. You didn't want to kill them all. You have to do the work yourself. You have to build your own levee, build your own house. No. Pick your own tobacco, harvest your own cotton. No, we're not going to do any of that. So you can't kill them, but you can co-opt them. And so the elite in Virginia, for example, the colony.
In Virginia, for example, where's Charlottesville? Virginia, known for this shit, dude. Obviously, it's been going on since. And if you're a Christian, you read your Bible, you know there's nothing new under the sun. So don't ever call yourself a Christian and act like shit's changed because the Creator told you nothing's going to change until His return, until the return of His Messiah. So this shit is not new. What they're doing in Virginia now is happening back then, surrounding certain black codes, like the right to kill law, which states that you can shoot any slave, by all means, black man who resists arrest. So tell me, why do cops today shout out for their cameras and audio mics before shooting someone? Stop resisting! If you actually study your laws, you might understand why these cases are not ending in convictions, because of certain laws as such are still part of the American system. It's not about white, it's not about black. It's about truth. White is a creation. Black is a creation. I do not resemble the keyboard. You do not resemble the background. So why do you call yourself white? Because they've told you that. If you understand and read that information, you understand that there could be someone as black as me who can actually call themselves white if they do not fall into their racial classifications. Understand, language has become so subtle because we've gotten away from the importance of everything. So, tread lightly. If you want to have these conversations about race, you're arguing with the system. You're not arguing with me. All the information I present does not come from me. It comes from your law book. So guess what you can do? Argue with the legal system of America. Have a good day.